Hello, Cruising World. Mick the Suit Guy with you. For those that watched last week's, you will know this is week 2 of Sean's tips of cruising in Australia for North Americans, the good and the bad. You will also notice my hands go up every now and then. That's because I'm getting shocks from my current condition. And you'll also notice, if you watched last week's, that I literally got up, turned off the camera, started the camera again, and I'm refilming week number 2. It's the way I do it. Because even though I'm putting my hand up a lot to indicate a shock, they're not terrible shocks today. They're just shocks. But I'm only doing that to show you because I'm talking a bit softer today, and there's not as much oomph in my voice because I got to talk lower to limit the pain. Oh, that was a big one. That was a big one. Oh, all right. We may not get through this one if they're as big as that one again. Oh, and I started the day so well. Let's keep going. We're going to get through this one. But I may be filming number 3 next week. Oh, that was a big one. Number 5, which is number 1 this week. And we've got 4. And then I'm going to give you one of mine. And then next week, another 4. So we're really lowering the voice now because that was a... Number 5, visiting Australia before or after the cruise is great. Amazing cities, scenery, weather, beaches, and people. Now, I happen to know that Sean and his wife Kelly went in for quite a few more days than we did. They went all over the country, and I saw their pictures on Facebook, so I know how great of a time they had. And I can't agree more with what they said. I wish we'd done more what they did. We went on this cruise ourselves. Well, not the same one they did. They did one to the islands. We did a back-to-back to New Zealand and the Great Barrier Reef. But we had 4 days in Sydney beforehand, and it was amazing. I think London was almost my favorite city before. No bias because I'm from near there, but I just think London's a great city because everything is self-contained in one little area. But Sydney rivaled London for fun, things to do. 4 days we didn't even touch all the things we could do in Sydney. And I wish we had more time to go around and travel around the rest of the country. So we shall see about what happens there. Anyways, yes, I can't agree with that. So, give yourself extra time. It helps you get over the flight, gets you ready for the cruise. The flight's a nightmare. It's a long, long flight from America to Australia. So it will give you some extra time to get over it. And when you get there, just relax, take it all in. Because another factor of that is the flight is long and quite expensive. So maximize as much time as you have there because you don't want to be flying there and back to do other things. So if you can do it all in one trip, even better. So obviously, if you go on an Australia cruise, you're not going to see much of Australia unless you do Great Barrier Reef. It's mostly islands and New Zealand and stuff like that. So if you want to go and see some of the sights and sounds of inland Australia, that is definitely the way to do it. So I cannot agree more on that one with you. I think that big zap was like, now it's gone quiet. It was making up. It was making up for the rest of it. Splendor, I just read the 2 words and I know what's coming. Splendor has a tikka masala Indian food option up the stairs from the Lido buffet. Yes, they do. And that was for lunch. And we would eat there every single day. The first day is the best day to go because no one really knows it's there. But once people work it out, the line is going to be 20, 30 people deep before they even open. You'll have to go there it opens at noon. You'll have to be there at 11:30 to be the first in line. It is so good. To me, everybody's different. If you like Indian food, I will almost guarantee you will love the tikka masala on this ship. Also, when we did our Journeys cruise, they had an Indian dinner night, which was phenomenal. So we got to sit down and eat a whole special dinner of Indian food. I think it's something they only really do on Journeys. And I don't know if they do it every Journeys. And it's interesting because in Australia, in America, you think a Journeys cruise is 10 days, right? Not in Australia. A 10-day Great Barrier Reef cruise is not considered a Journeys cruise. A 10-day New Zealand cruise is considered a Journeys cruise. So, they did it on the New Zealand. They didn't do it on the Great Barrier Reef one. So bear that in mind. If it doesn't say the word Journeys, you're not going to get the extras and stuff like that, like you do. Anyway, yes, we love, because I love Indian food. Thai food and Indian food are my 2 favorite foods. So yes, we had a lot of time spent at that particular place. Number 7, the casinos are all non-smoking, which is so nice. Yes, it is. Walking through, it was beautiful. I don't gamble much, but just walking through casinos sometimes can be just horrendous. Especially, I find the worst ones, well, when they're premier cruise or an ultra cruise, they can be the worst because the casino's always so crowded. But the ceilings are also so low. So there's no ventilation, isn't proper. Oh, I love the Horizon. It's my favorite ship. But my least favorite part of that ship is the casino, because when you walk through there, there's smoke. Oh, my goodness. And it gets on your clothes. You wake up the next morning and, oh, no. Yes, so absolutely. The non-smoking. And it was the same when we did Celebrity. And I don't think it was the same on Raw. No, on the Icon, you could smoke. But on Celebrity, it was a non-smoking casino too. It was wonderful. Wonderful. Yes. So not so good for the people that like to smoke. I understand and I respect that. I do respect that. But for people like me that hate cigarette smoke, it's wonderful. It's a very divisive thing, isn't it? Right? Smoking, coffee, all these addictive things, gambling addictive thing. So a lot of people that gamble like to smoke, like to drink coffee a lot and stuff like that. I don't smoke, I don't drink coffee, and I don't gamble. So that's my opinion, but you are perfectly entitled to yours. So if you are not happy that there's no smoking in those cruises, sorry. Don't make me laugh, it hurts. I was going to say something else, but I can't. All right, and the last one for this week. Oh, see, that was my payback for no. That was a big one. So a big one almost at the beginning and the end. So like number 8, we're going to get through this. Got one more to go and then one of my own, and then we'll move on. On embarkation in Sydney, you cannot carry all of your luggage onto the ship. We usually do this and take it right to our room. In Sydney, we had to leave our large cases with a porter. I'm a bit confused on that one, because define a large case, Sean, because it's got to go through the security machine. A large case won't fit. Or is a large case to you what a medium-sized case is to a man that takes 8 suits on a 7-day cruise? So needs a lot of bags. Are we talking big, me, like Goldilocks, you're in the middle? So I'm a bit confused about that one, but if you'd like to put in the comments and explain that one better, if you took one of the regular large ones that you can fit like 50 pounds in, how are you going to take that and get it through the security when you get on board? So I just need some explanation, Sean. This is why every now and then I come across these tips, and I should have read them before so I could research, find out the answer. Because in a real world, I probably should have read that, contacted Sean, asked him to explain it, and then done this. But I didn't, because I don't. Because it's more fun when I just read them from Raw. But yeah, so I mean, it's very good to know. Does that mean you can't take a medium-sized case on board? You know what I'm saying? Because again, the big ones won't fit in the security. Medium ones will. Like carry-ons on a plane. Like the largest carry-on you can take on a plane. Is that the largest case you're taking? And if you are taking the big ones, how do you get them through in the US when you've got to put them through the security machine? Questions I'd like to know. Maybe the security machine is bigger than I thought. I don't know. Because we always just dump them. Oh, that was rough for me, that one. Because I was getting hit and I didn't understand and I couldn't. I'm sure it's great, but that was all around. That was kind of like Tampa Bay losing to Washington with a last-second field goal that hit the post and bounced in. Really. Or Ipswich conceding the last-minute equaliser after they were very close to an away win at Fulham the other week. It's just... Sean's an Ipswich supporter, by the way. Not Bucks, but Ipswich. All right, and one from me this week. And I've got 4 more from Sean for next week, which I'm going to try and re-record in about 4 minutes. I'm going to give myself a little bit of time to maybe chill. Because what I find is, because this zap, it's in my head, right? So the more I talk, the worse it gets. So when I'm quiet, this is why it's good in the morning, because I haven't talked. I've slept all night. So when I wake up, but as you talk. All right. Did you know this is for platinum and diamond people? Sorry, everybody else. we would get a chocolate delight, they used to call it, and it would be delivered to your room upon you calling, and you could do that at any point during the cruise. Typically, we used to do it like towards the end because we'd always forget, and plus, we're just taking it to crew members anyway. We're not going to eat it ourselves. So in yet another cost-cutting idea, and I'll explain why it's cost-cutting in a second, it's now called a welcome treat instead of a chocolate delight. So I don't know what that means. I will find out, and we'll update this soon. Is a welcome treat the same as the chocolate delight? I doubt it, but I don't know. We'll find out. I'm not making any judgment. But you have to order it on day 1 or day 2. If you get to day 3 and you haven't ordered it, you're out of luck. This is why it's a cost-cutting idea, because they're banking on people forgetting and not being able to order it. Which a lot of people will, because a lot of people won't know about this. And they'll claim, oh yeah, we put it out there. Did you? Is it going to be written on your cruise documents when you check in? No. If you don't find out, you don't find out. Well, I say